Good day, everyone. This is Michelle J. Casing, and I'm going to discuss the three ways of approaching a curriculum. Curriculum can be approached or seen in three ways. It can be defined as a content, a process, or a product. If you examine the definitions provided by the experts in the field, there are three ways of approaching a curriculum. First is to approach it as a content or a body of knowledge to be transmitted. Second is to approach as a product or the learning outcomes desired of learners. Third is to approach it as a process or what actually happens in the classroom when the curriculum is practiced. So, what is the curriculum as a content, process, and product? Curriculum as a content or a body of knowledge. It is quite common for traditionalists to equate a curriculum as topic outline, subject matter, or concepts to be included in the syllabus or books. For example, a primary school mathematics curriculum consists of topics on addition, multiplication, and subtraction, division, distance, weight, and many more. Curriculum as a process. We have seen that the curriculum can be approached as content. On the other hand, it can also be approached as a process. Here, curriculum is not seen as physical thing or a noun, but as a verb in action. And the curriculum as a product. Besides viewing curriculum as content that is to be transmitted or process that gives action using the content, it has also been viewed as a product. In other words, product is what the students desire to achieve as the learning outcomes. Now let's talk about the 7 criteria for curriculum content selection. First, we have self-sufficiency. To help learners attain maximum self-sufficiency, most economically is the central guiding principle of the subject matter or content selection. This is cited by Bilbao et al. 2008. Although the economy of learning implies less teaching effort and less use of educational resources, students gain more results. They can cope up with the learning outcomes effectively. This criterion means students should be given a chance to experiment, observe, and do field study. And this system allows them to learn independently. With this principle in mind, I suggest that there should be a one-day independent learning activity each week for a high school curriculum or preparatory year. However, this should be carefully planned by the teacher. And when the students return, they should present outputs from the activity. Second is significance. The subject matter or content is significant if it is selected and organized to develop learning activities, skills, processes, and attitude. It also develops the 3 domains of learning, namely the cognitive, affective, and psychomotor skills, and consider the learner's cultural aspects. In short, select content or subject matter that can achieve the overall aim of the curriculum. Third, we have validity. Validity refers to the authenticity of the subject matter or content you selected. Make sure that the topics are not obsolete. For example, do not include typewriting as a skill to be learned by college students. It should be about the computer or information technology. Thus, there is a need to regularly check the curriculum subject matter or contents and replace it if necessary. Do not wait for another 5 years to change it. Modern curriculum experts are after current trends, relevance, and authenticity of the curriculum. Otherwise, the school or the country become obsolete. Fourth, we have interest. This criterion is valid to the learner-centered curriculum. Learner-centered curriculum. Students learn best if the subject matter is interesting, thus making it more meaningful to them. Fifth, we have utility. Another criterion is the usefulness of the content or subject matter. Students think that a subject matter or some subjects are not necessary to them. They view it useless. They view it as useless. As a result, they do not study. Now, here are the questions that students often ask. Will I need the subject in my job? Will it give meaning to my life? Will it develop my potential? And so on and so forth. Students only value the subject matter or content if it is useful to them. Yes, number 6, we have learnability. The subject matter or content must be within the schema of learners. It should be within their experiences, and teachers should apply theories in the psychology of learning to know how subjects are presented, sequenced, and organized to maximize students' learning capacity. And lastly, we have feasibility. Feasibility means the full implementation of the subject matter. It should consider the school's real situation, the government, and the society. Students must learn within the allowable time and the use of resources available. Do not give them a topic that is impossible to finish. For example, you have only 1 week left to finish the unit, but the activities may take a month for the students to complete. Thus, the requirement is not workable. Do not offer a computer subject if there is no electricity in the area and there are no computers.
To continue, there are also the guiding principles or steps when approaching the curriculum as first as the content. And the first one under the content is balance. Content should be fairly distributed in depth of breadth. This will guarantee that significant contents should be covered to avoid too much or too little of the contents needed within the time allocation. The second one is articulation. As the content complexity progresses with the educational levels, vertically or horizontally, across the same discipline, smooth connections or bridging should be provided. This will assure no gaps or overlaps in the content. Seamlessness in the content is desired and can be assured if there is articulation in the curriculum. Thus, there is a need of theme among writers and implementers of curriculum. The third one is sequence. The logical arrangement of the content refers to the sequence or order. This can be done vertically or deepening the content, or horizontally for broadening the same content. In both ways, the pattern usually is from easy to complex. What is known to the unknown, what is current to something in the future. The fourth one, we have the integration. Content in the curriculum does not stand alone or in isolation. It has some ways of relatedness or connectedness to other contents. Content should be infused in other disciplines whenever possible. This will provide a holistic or unified view of curriculum instead of segmentation. Content should be integrated to other disciplines, acquire a higher premium than when isolated. The fifth one is continuity. Content should, when viewed as a curriculum, should continuously flow as it was before to where it is now and will be in the future. It should be perennial. It endures time. Content may not be in the same form and substance as seen in the past, since changes and developments in the curriculum occur. Constant repetition, reinforcement, and enhancement of content are all elements of continuity. And as for the process, the curriculum is a process. Curriculum process in the form of teaching methods or strategies are means to achieve the end. There is no single best process or method. Its effectiveness will depend on the desired learning outcomes, the learners, support materials, and the teachers. So, curriculum process should stimulate the learner's desire to develop the cognitive, affective, and psychomotor domains in each individual. In the choice of methods, learning and teaching styles should be considered. Every method or process should result to learning outcomes, which can be described as a cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. Flexibility in the use of process or methods should be considered. An effective process will always result to learning outcomes. Both teaching and learning are two important process in the implementation of the curriculum. So, as a product, besides viewing curriculum as a content that is to be transmitted, a process that gives action using the content, it also have been viewed as a product. In other words, product is what the students desire to achieve as a learning outcomes.
Hi, I am Alexis Villero, and this time we are going to answer questions about planning, implementing, and evaluating curriculum. So first question is, how do you plan your curriculum? Side 3 steps. So first is we have establishing a value base. A necessary first step in all curricular planning is to establish the value base in which the curriculum is built. Your value statement represents your beliefs and rationale about the purpose and goals of physical education for children. Second, we have developing a conceptual framework. What does it mean? So any curriculum should be undergirded by a conceptual framework. That is, by essential concepts on which the curriculum is purposefully based. The conceptual framework provides the necessary link between the program design and your values and goals. As such, it clarifies, defines, and classifies the terms and concepts used in the curriculum. Third one, we have determining program goals. So, the standards take into account the phases and stages of motor development, the levels and stages of movement skill learning, children's cognitive, fitness, and affective development, and the movement framework. As a result, the standards can be used to guide the goal-setting process for a developmental physical education curriculum. Second question is, we have how do you implement the curriculum? Side 4 steps. So based on proposition of Ornstein and Hankins, 1998. So first is shift from what is current to a new or enhanced curriculum. Second, change in knowledge, actions, attitudes of the persons involved. Third, change in behavior using new strategies and resources. Fourth is change which requires efforts, hence goals should be achievable. For the last question, we have how do you evaluate the curriculum? Side 2 to 3 steps. The first one is understand the underlying model, pedagogy, and process used to develop the curriculum. Whatever approach is used, make sure you understand its methodology and underlying philosophy so that this can help guide the evaluation. Second one is establish a baseline. If possible, establish what student performance was before the curriculum was available, to assess the level of change or increased learning created as a result of the new curriculum. This could involve data on student grades or performance from the year before the new curriculum is introduced, or data on job performance or another indicator. Lastly, clearly identify the outcomes expected of the curriculum. What should students know or be able to do when they have completed the curriculum? Take the time to understand the desired outcomes and how the curriculum content, activities, and approach support those outcomes. The outcomes should be directly linked to the project goals and objectives. Look for possible disconnects or gaps.